Located on the highest point in Springfield's Washington Park is quite a treasure for the city, the state of Illinois, and the world. Located here is one of the top 10 carillons in the world. First of all, what is a carillon? It is not this tower that rises 132 feet in the air. The carillon is the musical instrument housed inside the tower, and someone is playing the music you hear on it now. And in this short video, we hope you will discover how this instrument works, how it's played, and why this carillon is one of the best in the world. Our carillon is named after Thomas Rees, who was the publisher of a local newspaper called the Illinois State Register from 1881 to 1933. He also served as a state senator from 1902 to 1906. During World War I, Mr. Rees served on a national board of newspapers and had the opportunity to travel in Europe. He was very interested in bells and the carillons he visited in Belgium and the Netherlands, the countries where the carillon was first invented. He loved the sounds of the bells when they played, and he wanted to share that love of the bells with others. When Thomas Rees died in 1933, he left a will, which is a legal declaration of his wishes about what to do with his property and money after his death. He left $200,000 to build a carillon and maintain it. This was a long time ago. Today, $200,000 would be worth $4.7 million. He left specific instructions that it should preferably be built in one of the Springfield parks, and it should have at least 49 bells, which was the standard size at the time. It was built on the highest spot in Springfield, but is not the tallest building in Springfield. That honor belongs to the Illinois State Capitol. It was also written in his will that he wanted people to be educated about this unique instrument. This instrument, the carillon, is housed in the Thomas Rees Memorial Tower that is about 135 feet tall and has 12 floors. Let's start at the door. We see the name of our carillon here, the Thomas Rees Memorial Carillon. The instrument and tower were both given his name, and his face is displayed in brass on the door. As we go into the lobby of the tower, the walls of this room are made of marble imported from Spain. The design and planning of the tower started in 1957, and the carillon and tower were completed in 1962. Bill Turley was the architect, and he used a brutalist design, which is known for its simple form with unpainted concrete, brick, and steel. You can see the concrete clearly when looking at the tower. An interesting fact here is that Mr. Turley also designed the Hoagland Center for the Arts in Springfield on 6th Street. If you compare the two buildings, you can see a lot of concrete in both and a very simple design. In the lobby, you can also see a small model of the construction, which was designed by architects from the Dutch foundry. Above the lobby, the tower also contains an office for the carillonist, a practice studio, and the rest houses the musical instrument, but more on this later. The carillon is a member of the percussion family because the sound is created when the bells are hit. The carillon consists of the keyboard, bells, and everything that connects them, including the clappers that strike the bells, the wires that connect the clappers to the keys, also called batons, and the transition rods that connect the pedals to the batons. All of these parts combine to make one gigantic instrument. The Rees Carillon has 67 cast bronze bells, which can play 5.5 full octaves. full 18 more notes than Rees had originally planned for. The total weight of the bells is about 84,000 pounds. The smallest bell weighs 22 pounds, and the largest bell, known as the Borden bell, weighs 15,000 pounds, 7.5 tons. It is the heaviest bell within the carillon. It sounds the lowest tone of the instrument. This bell is dedicated to Thomas Rees, publisher, author, senator, and public benefactor. Our carillon is played on the 8th floor of the tower. The lowest, largest 8 bells are located on levels 5, 6, and 7. The other 59 bells are located on levels 9 through 12. There are 2 reasons this carillon is one of the finest in the world. Number 1 is location. It is in Springfield's beautiful Washington Park, the perfect place to relax and listen to carillon music. The sound can carry up to 2.5 miles because no other buildings are around to block the sound, and hardly any traffic to take away from the music of the bells. Number 2, the quality of the bells is outstanding. Bronze bells were made of about 80% copper and 20% tin. They were all cast in the Netherlands by the Pettit and Fritsen Company, shipped to America from across the Atlantic Ocean, and installed in the tower by the Verdun Company. All the bells are original, except for one that was added in the year 2000. A carillonist is the musician playing the carillon bells. Carillonists use their hands and feet to play the carillon, similar to a church organ, but with bells. There are 2 keyboards. One is played with hands, and one is played with the feet. Each foot pedal is linked with the key that plays the same note. This makes it easier for the carillonist to play many notes at once. Instead of black and white keys that you play with your fingers, a carillon has wooden keys, also known as batons. You need your entire hand to play just one note. The keys and pedals are both arranged like a piano keyboard, with a few keys on top in between those on the lower row, in a repeating pattern. Also, like a piano, it is capable of playing loud and soft notes depending on how gently you press each baton. Bells do not swing. Only the clapper moves, only a small distance. The sound of the bells is amplified with speakers in the cabin so the carillonists can hear what they are playing. Most of the sound is outside the tower. One unique feature of our carillon is every time you hear its music, it is being played by a real person. The only exception would be the short melodies that play throughout the day to tell the time. The melody that our tower plays is called the Westminster Chime. Let's see if you recognize it. Other places you may hear the Westminster chimes include grandfather clocks, doorbells, and churches. Every 15 minutes, part of the melody is played, and then progresses until it strikes the number of strikes for the hour. The 5 bells needed to play this melody have electric-powered hammers and are automated by a machine. The carillon can be heard by everyone, so when carillonists need to practice, they need to be in a separate practice room using a custom-made keyboard. So believe it or not, there are actually 2 musical instruments housed in our tower. A practice keyboard is needed to learn how to play this instrument. Our practice keyboard, like all others, was custom-made to match the measurements of our instrument, including the number of keys and pedals, so the carillonist can be sure their practicing will match their performance on the real instrument. The keys are not connected to bells. Instead, they connect to mallets that strike small metal xylophone-like bars. This makes it easy for musicians to practice their music quietly, since the sound does not travel outside the tower. Just like with all musical instruments, it takes years of practice to become a master of that instrument. The Thomas Rees Memorial Carillon is indeed a treasure for Springfield, Illinois. We hope you will visit often with your friends and family to hear the beautiful sounds of the bells. Visit the website carillonrees.org to learn more about all the Carillon opportunities at Washington Park.